Conservative leader Andrew Scheer announcing an array of changes that he would make to our country's immigration system if he is elected prime minister. Chief among those promises, a pledge to close what Scheer calls a loophole in our current system, the one that allows illegal border crossings by migrants who first travel to the United States and then proceed on to Canada. We know that more than 40,000 people have crossed over, that's according to immigration officials, since early 2017. But let's get a reality check here on Scheer's proposals, what it would actually mean. Is it even feasible? Chantal Desloges is joining us, a lawyer who specializes in immigration and refugee law, coming to us from our studios in Toronto today. Chantal, good to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Full disclosure, you yourself are a conservative. We want to make sure the viewers know that. But you disagree with your party on this change. Why?
In some aspects, yes. I mean, I do understand, of course, that immigration policy always involves a very delicate balance between system integrity, border security, and at the same time, a fair and compassionate system. And that is a really hard problem that every government struggles with. So I don't envy the person, making policy decisions about this. What we see in the announcement today is two separate aspects. Number one, a desire to make hearings go faster so that people are not incentivized to make bogus claims, and then a long-term view to sort of renegotiate the Safe Third Country Agreement to deal with the problem more systemically. The issue, I think, is an operational one, that as a person who on the ground deals with these issues every day, I do see some challenges in implementing such a system. For example, the right of people to make a claim and have it adjudicated in Canada does not actually stem from the Safe Third Country Agreement. It stems from Canada's own Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which says that anyone who is on Canadian soil has the right to be to life, liberty, and security of the person. And the issue there is that, if a person claims that they're at risk, then you have to adjudicate that claim before you can send them anywhere, including the United States. So even if the Safe Third Country Agreement were renegotiated, would not deal with this issue. The only way to deal with it is to stop people before they're actually able to enter Canada. And with such a long, undefended border, I, practically speaking, don't see how that's really possible.
What about dealing with the Trump administration on this and how feasible you think that would be?
Yeah, well, that assumes that the Americans are willing to talk turkey, for Thanksgiving analogy, which we don't know whether they would be. I mean, Trump's not always going to be in that seat, so it doesn't preclude maybe subsequent talks with a new administration. And, this issue of the border, the U.S. also does have some interest in, trying to regulate this issue. But whether they would be willing to negotiate or not, nobody knows.
And what about the notion of moving some immigration judges down to the border in order to make the process somewhat faster? Does that make any sense to you?
Well, anything to make the process faster, of course, is a great idea. And refugees themselves would love for that to happen, too, because the waiting time now is almost 2 years to get a hearing. But I think moving it closer to the border, proximity is not the issue. I mean, even now we do video conference hearings where your person could be sitting in Toronto and your decision maker could be in Ottawa. So I fail to see how geographically moving it closer really helps. And I should also comment that making these hearings go faster has been attempted by previous governments before. And the problem is that logistically, it's very hard to turn around the Titanic. That, when someone makes these claims, there are certain procedural protections that you cannot abrogate legally. So make them a little faster, yes, I think you can. But make them a lot faster, I think you may run into problems.
Chantal Desloges, immigration expert, joining us with her take on this announcement by the Conservatives. Great to have you on the program and give us your take and helping us to make sense of some of the promises we're getting today.
Thank you.